Time to crack open the sports page with the Orlando Sentinel and FM 96.9 The Game's Mike the Bulldog Bianchi.
On JRR.
All right, Bulldog, what are you dressed up as there in the luxury condo for Halloween this morning?
I am dressed up as a sports radio host and sports columnist because, by the way, I like to turn out the lights on Halloween so nobody comes to my door. That's what a Grinch I am.
God, dude.
All right, kids, you heard it. Don't go to the luxury condo. There's nothing awaiting you there. Anyway.
Even though it looks so luxurious, there's no big candy bars. There's no candy bars.
Yeah, all right, let's start with the non-football stuff first. Magic lose last night to the Mavericks. They did win their first game over the weekend, though. Paolo Banchero's streak of consecutive 20-point-plus games to start his NBA career, that ended last night as well. He only had 18. Magic lose to the Mavericks, 114 to 105. Lynch texted me yesterday about the NASCAR race in Martinsville, and I went and watched the replay of it. My God, Christopher Bell ends up winning to get into the playoff, but the real story was Ross Chastain. The watermelon man pulls this video game move. He needed to get up to 5th place to make the Final Four of the playoff. So he gets his car along the wall and guns it, all right? He's like going 70 miles per hour faster than everybody else, scraping the wall the whole time, and he ends up passing Denny Hamlin to make the Final Four.
Did you see?
It was unbelievable.
Did you see the look on Hamlin's face after the race? Like, what just happened?
Yeah. And Hamlin commended him, though, afterwards. He goes, that was a hell of a move.
Yeah.
A hell of a move. So,
the announcers, even Dale Jr., were like, I've never seen that. Maybe in a video game, but that's about it. No one's ever tried it on a track.
Chastain said he saw it in a video game, and he said, I didn't know if it would work or not, but it did.
Oh, my God. Incredible. Incredible.
Yeah, so the watermelon man. Astros beat the Phillies, not yesterday, but Saturday. So that's the World Series is tied now. 1-all. Game 3 is tonight. College football, UCF. Wow. Their quarterback, John Rice Plumlee, gets hurt. Looks like he has a concussion. Mikey Keene, the forgotten man who was the starter last year, came in and replaced Dylan Gabriel. He gets his first action of the year, leads UCF back 25-21. They beat number 20 Cincinnati. UCF is now in the AP Top 25. They're 23rd now. Mikey Keene's the hero of the program. And, by the way, a good weekend for UCF. The Big 12 announced their new, or they didn't announce it, but it was reported, their new TV deal yesterday.
Yeah.
It's going to be worth like $2.5 billion over 6 years, which means UCF's going to make up to $50 million per year.
Cool.
In league money. So a good day, or good weekend for UCF. I was at the Florida-Georgia game. Georgia, it was a game for a while. Georgia jumped out to a big lead. Florida came back, and then Georgia said, enough of this nonsense, and then blew Florida out.
How about the odds makers? The 22-point spread, Georgia wins by 22.
No, it was actually 22 and a half.
That
was right there. Georgia won by 22, 42-20. The Gators actually covered the spread. That was the miracle of that. And Georgia did it on the day after the legendary Vince Dooley passes away. He was their legendary coach back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. So Georgia wins that game. Florida State routs Georgia Tech. Miami Hurricanes. Good God, what a snoozer. They didn't even score a touchdown in regulation. It's 12-12. Both teams kicked 4 field goals, and then Miami ends up winning it in the 4th overtime when their backup quarterback Jake Garcia gets the 2-point conversion.
Oh my God,
pathetic.
Well, they got the win. I mean, that's
they did get the win.
Boy.
Other story in college football: Michigan State. There was a Michigan State's players attacked a Michigan player in the tunnel after the game. 4 Michigan State players have been suspended for that. There's actually some police are investigating. They may press charges for assault on these Michigan State players. It was embarrassing. It really was. If you haven't seen the video, go watch it. It's just It's terrible.
Maybe if Michigan State had put that kind of effort and energy into the on-field, they,
Yeah, they wouldn't have got blown out.
Yeah.
Tennessee blows out Kentucky. Unbelievable what Tennessee's doing. You got Tennessee-Georgia this week. How big's that game going to be for the SEC East? But Tennessee wins 44-6. Texas A&M loses again to Ole Miss. All right, let's get to the NFL yesterday. Tua is turning into an elite quarterback right before our eyes. He throws for almost 400 yards yesterday. I think it was 386, 3 touchdowns. He leads the Dolphins back a rally against the Detroit Lions, who are not very good, but Tua looked unbelievable yesterday.
And I'm happy, I got to say, because remember, not too long ago, everybody, and us included, were like, is this guy a flop? I remember Pat saying it a lot.
I'm guilty.
Yeah,
guilty.
I mean, all of us. But it's great to see one of these young quarterbacks. I wish Trevor Lawrence would have the same.
Well,
speaking of flops.
Hey, before we get to that in his misfires yesterday morning, but Tua, where you really got to give that guy credit is, coming back from the head injury, a lot of guys might be in a timid situation, and he's just...
Not him.
Not him.
Nah, he'll put his shoulder down and run the ball if he has to. 29-36, 382 yards, 3 touchdowns for Tua. Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill both had over 100 yards receiving. So unbelievable what the Dolphins are doing. They've won 2 straight now since Tua got back. Trevor Lawrence, speaking of flops, he looks like he might be a flop. The Jaguars lose 21-17 in London to the struggling Denver Broncos, who had lost 4 straight. The Jaguars have now lost 5 straight. Trevor Lawrence threw a couple of costly interceptions in that game. Here was his stat line: 18 of 31 for 133 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
So not good. Derrick Henry, what about what he's doing? Tennessee Titans, they win. Derrick Henry, 219 yards rushing, 4 straight 200-yard game against the Houston Texans, by the way. He ties O.J. Simpson and Adrian Peterson for the most 200-yard rushing games in NFL history. Christian McCaffrey becomes only the 11th player in NFL history to run for a touchdown, catch a touchdown, and throw a touchdown pass.
That was great.
As his new team, the 49ers, beat the Rams 31-14. The Eagles stay undefeated. The Dallas Cowboys, they scored the most points that have been scored in the NFL this year, 49 points. They beat the Bears 49-29. Tony Pollard, by the way, has to be the new starting running back of the Cowboys. He ran for 3 touchdowns. Ezekiel Elliott was hurt. And how about Geno Smith, the story of the year in the NFL? He leads his Seahawks to a 27-13 victory over the Giants. The Seahawks have now won 3 straight. And finally, Bill Belichick passes George Halas for number 2 on the NFL coaching list with that victory yesterday. He beats the Jets 22-17. Only Don Shula now has more victories than the great Bill Belichick.
Overreaction Football Monday with Mike the Bulldog Bianchi. You can catch more of this talk over on FM 96.9 The Game, where he hosts Open Mic. He's also sports columnist for the Orlando Sentinel and Grown Man Barking during the sports page each weekday morning here on WJRR.
Oh!